Hey guys, welcome back. Gonna give a couple of updates here, then I'll get into the main content of this video. Everything you're looking at here, these are the chestnut oak stems that fell off in about a 2-minute windstorm the other night. Came off that tree right there, and this is from the cicadas killing it. So that's what the cicadas do to the oak trees. Most of the rest of the oaks are in pretty good shape. I mean, you can see the rest of the yard, it's really not much. Like there's an oak, you know, they're all over. That's a massive oak. It's really not much. It's really just they really hammered the chestnut oak. And then speaking of getting hammered, at 11:45 the other night, no storm or anything, just this limb came down off of this oak tree right here. So that's blocking my walking path. So I have to get that cut up at some point. That's it's like pretty sizable actually. So I'm gonna have to work on that. That's the ants, I think, getting to that one. That's the second limb that has fallen off of there. Then as an update to the driveway project from the other day, this stone's starting to pack in pretty good. We had a couple of really hard rains. Let me show you that. Here we are back at the sidewalk, so that drain did good. That drain did good. There's still, like, you know, stuff, leaves, debris, little stuff that does, there you can even see a little, you know, bit of debris that clogs up that surface drain and then causes it to overflow. So I might bring this wall out a little bit so that some more of the water funnels in here and hits this drain, which this just goes under the mulch bed, and I've cut that out so it doesn't get clogged up. You know, I cut the center pieces of plastic out there to make the holes bigger. But overall the drainage is going pretty good here. Just a couple minor tweaks might be needed. Well, and there's another project for the day, the slow sign that my neighbor bought. It's on my property, it's just a better place to put it. Looks like it fell off the post. So I have to get a nail or a screw and turn that baby around. And then the last update is my back. So it's okay. I'm functional. I think some of the raking maybe irritated it a little bit, but I hopefully kind of know the signs a little better of when I'm reaching my limit. And hopefully I'm maintaining lifting technique or, you know, method that I've been taught, and not slipping into terrible habits. So that's it. So, all right, let's get into the meat of this video. And here it is, the QH05 quick hitch. I'm taking another run at quick hitches. As some of you probably know, I tried the Harbor Freight quick hitch and it was too wide. The hooks fit, but the frame welding just wouldn't fit within the box blade. So I called up Messick's and they measured this, gave me exact measurements, and it should fit the box blades. We're going to find out. So let me talk a little bit about Messick's. So I emailed them for a quote on this a couple months ago, and then I decided to go with the Harbor Freight because it's just a drive down the road versus an hour and whatever drive away to get it. And of course the Harbor Freight quick hitch was it was actually well built, but it just didn't fit, right? So I had to return that. So then I'm like, well, forget it on the quick hitch, and you saw that in the other video. And then the other day I'm like, well, I really should get the quick hitch. So I started emailing Messick's about the QH05. And it was like bing, bing, bing. They just got back to me immediately. Quote, confirming that it was the black one, not the orange one. Confirming dimensions, which of course the spec sheet, if you saw my other video, the Land Pride spec sheet only shows hook to hook. I needed outer to outer and inner to inner to make sure it would fit inside the box blade hookup. So they provided that to me as well. And all of this is bing, bing, bing. And then as far as the pickup process, my wife was in the area and she's the one that did the pickup. So Messick said, they showed me like, hey, here's the building she goes to. I emailed them when she was 30 minutes out, and the lady's like, Great, thanks for letting me know. They were ready to go. My wife was in and out of there in no time, so that kept me out of the doghouse. Thank you, Messicks. But why am I telling you all of this? I'm telling you all of this because if you've watched the Messick's videos, you've probably heard Neil Messick say, relationship, relationship, relationship. You've heard that 1,000 times. And I've always thought, like, what does that mean? Is that like, you know, the old guy that sits in the chair like at the barber shop on Hee Haw, if y'all remember Hee Haw, and they're not really doing anything, they're just sitting there hanging out all day? Is that like, what is their relationship with this tractor shop? That's not what he's talking about. Well, maybe he is in some cases. He's talking about forming an immediate relationship with customers and tracking all the way through. And that's what they did, right? I mean, it's not this, you know, he says like long term, but I'm sure there's some customers, like maybe the farmers and repeat, you know, buyers and stuff, and you know, where maybe he has that, but they're doing it on a small level too, with just the transactional part of it. So hats off, you know, really, you know, to them. Now I'm going to do another video about the Massey pretty soon, and you know, some of the things like, well, should I have gone Massey? Should I have maybe done the Kubota, the John Deere? And again, it'll be from my new guy perspective. So I'll save that till later. But just high level, I would say if you're in that the Pennsylvania area and you're not checking out Messick's, you're probably making a mistake. At least not checking them out, based on the experience and interaction I've had just with this one small part. If that's how they treated me for this one couple $100 part, I mean, it doesn't take a stretch of the imagination to think about how they must be treating other customers. So now that I've gone off on that, let's talk about the actual quick hitch. Okay, so first things first, let's measure it. So on this one, you can see the wall comes a little bit further out, but let's go hook to hook on the outside and see what it's like. Hook to hook, we've got 29 and 3/8, it looks like. That's outer to outer. Inner to inner, 27 and 3/8. But then the other dimension I want to know is, what about wall to wall? So let's see if I can get that. Okay, wall to wall looks like we're just over 30 and a half. So that's not good, because that means it's not going to fit, potentially not going to fit inside of the box blade. Before we get her hooked up and do a bunch of work, we're just going to lift it up in place and check it out. And there it is. So it is in, and it's not hitting. There's plenty of room. So I think if you look at it though from outer to outer, it's definitely exceeding the outer dimension of the box blade, but the difference here is that it's all hook, right? So I don't know if that's visible. Let me get the camera down there. So there you can see the outer lip, and it definitely can exceed that. But turn around here and you can see the difference. See, it doesn't exceed it from the, you know, this inner plate. So that's it. So that baby is going to fit. And now the same experiment on the ballast box, and everything looks good. So the only thing I do notice is that there's a little play. Even if I lift up here, there's still a little play where this top hook isn't, it's not resting. Of course, I had to put a bushing, which came with the quick hitch. I put a bushing in there. I noticed that on the box blade as well, but I think everything's okay. So we're going to get this on the tractor and we're going to try it out. Okay, and while I hook this up, I'll talk about why I didn't get the Speedco and a little bit about this. So this is a true Cat 1, no bushings aside from the top slide-on one required. And the reason I got this instead of the Speedco, which was about the same price, is because I read some reviews on the Speedco about the lift arms. There's like some kind of pin holding them in, and it seemed just a little sketchy, whereas this mechanism on the Land Pride is like as simple as it gets. It just seems like, you know, it's exposed and it just looks like it's more reliable. So that's why I went with it. It is Cat 1, no bushings on the bottom, same as the Speedco economy hitch. Actually, I think, yeah. I don't know if these went in this way. I think they go in this way. I think I've got them backwards. And the tractor. And in it goes. Perfect. So there's the Land Pride all hooked up. So far, so good. I guess I can't complain. Hey, by the way, it also came with this floating top link assembly. I'm not showing the bushing. I actually have that on the box blade right now. And that was in a little baggie attached to the blade. And yeah, that's my experience so far. Hopefully it makes things a little easier. Real quick, I think I mentioned this earlier. I didn't get the other brands or the Speedco or even the QH10 for a couple reasons. Mostly they're heavier. Like that Harbor Freight Quick Hitch, that was pretty heavy. And as you guys know, I'm looking for stuff that's light. So if I needed to remove this, I don't want it to be something that's like heavy and bulky and I'm going to hurt my back. It's 37 pounds per the spec sheet. So I like that. While I like that, what I did notice unhooking is that it's almost not quite enough weight when you lower, because there's no down pressure on the 3-point. When you lower, it doesn't, you might have to give it a little, if you're sitting on the tractor seat, give a little nudge with the top, to the top link to make it go down. Minor drawback. So anyway, if you have any questions on the QH05, on the Harbor Freight, on any kind of like new guy experiences on these quick hitches, which there's a ton of videos out there on them. But I'm trying to give it to you from, I guess, a more simplistic perspective. I hope that's what I'm accomplishing. Anyway, thanks for watching and stay tuned because soon I'm going to be spreading some more gravel in the driveway if you want to check that out. So if you like these videos, please comment, like, subscribe. Thanks again. Well, I moved the stone. I didn't get any video of it. Actually, I did it the day, let's see, that was yesterday. I did it right after I did the quick hitch stuff. Quick hitch worked great too, no issues there. So I got that pile of 57 moved. I'll show you that in a minute. Then I spread out a bunch of this CR6. Let me show you that. All right, so here's where I stopped in the previous video. And then this is just the top coat all the way to there, and then I got a gap because I ran out of steam to here, and there you can see the 57 comes that far up the driveway, so I'll move down there in a minute. And then there's where the 57 ends, and I did all the way down to the end of the road. So there's a lot of 57, and man, that box blade works so good. I hate that I didn't get video of it, but stopped just short of the road because I don't want gravel until it kind of packs in. I don't want it getting on the road. You know, a lot of motorcyclists out. And then here real quick, some of that mucky stuff I dug up from the landscaping, I jammed it in this gap. There was a big divot there. So that was like days ago. But yeah, so I think it mostly turned out pretty good. We'll see how it holds up after that first big rain. So normally what happens is this, the driveway kind of slopes, so this side gets all the runoff. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.